obviously a great win for us on Saturday. It's always fun to win the Dakota Marker game, and especially happy for our seniors going out and beating those guys each of their 4 years that they were here. Actually got them another time because of the playoffs. So they were really thrilled with being able to keep the Marker in Fargo another year. But struggled a little bit the first half. Give South Dakota State credit. I thought they had a great game plan and did some things really well to kind of stifle our running game. And then in the second half, I thought we were able to make some great adjustments. I thought Coach Polasek and his staff did a great job of designing some different formations, changing up the blocking scheme. But we were able to come out and rush the football, and that's what we talked about at halftime. We needed to be able to run the football in the second half, be able to control Zenner. He was going to get his yards and carries, but be able to control him and limit big plays. And obviously we were able to get the 2 big turnovers in the third quarter that led to a couple of scores. So overall, after watching the film yesterday, really pleased with the effort, really pleased with the resolve the guys had in the second half. And we got nicked up, but nothing that I think would hold anybody out for this weekend. And now we move on to another Big Valley contest. I'll take any questions.
Another week, another big running back. What are the different styles that you noticed between Zach Zenner and David Johnson?
Different offenses, more so than different running style. They're both big, they're both physical, they're both extremely fast. David's probably a little more effective out of the backfield because they throw it to him quite a bit more than they did, SDSU does with Zenner. But another huge challenge. David hit a home run on us last year on a big 70 or 80 yard run, and we've got to find ways to keep him corralled. There's no question he'll be the focal point of our game plan.
Coach, what do you anticipate feeling, I guess, walking in there as a head coach at a place that you coached at for a while?
I'll tell you on Saturday. I don't know. Obviously, there'll be some emotions. I'm really good friends with a number of staff members, not only on the football staff, but in administration. And it's my home. It's where my folks live. It's where my brother and his family live. I've got a lot of dear friends in the Cedar Valley there, and I'll let you know on Saturday. It'll be different, I know. It's good that I've been there once as a defensive coordinator in 2012, but to go back there this year as the head coach, I'll probably make a phone call to Coach Allen. You know, Terry's been back there several times as the head coach, but ultimately we've got to perform on the field, so it's what the guys do.
After their win against Illinois State, do you feel Northern Iowa was playing their best football prior to the championship?
Oh, absolutely. You know, they beat Western soundly at Western, and then they beat Illinois State, and I thought they played really fast, really aggressive, really physical. We're able to rush the football. We're able to stop the run. We're able to get after the passer. I think they're playing at a really high level, and it'll be a dogfight. It's going to be a 4-quarter game, and we've got to have our A game, and we've got to play exceptionally well. We've got to play clean. They're getting so many turnovers on people. They're doing a great job of creating turnovers and then turning those turnovers into touchdowns, as well as doing such a great job on special teams. So we've got to play a really clean football game.
36 sacks, I think, coming into this game. Chris, what do they just send a lot of people on blitzing, or what do they do?
Well, they'll blitz some, but they're just doing a great job with their 4-man rush and getting home, and they've got a lot of upperclassmen defensive linemen that have played an awful lot of football for them, and so I've been really pleased. They're just relentless to the passer, and so we'll have our hands full. We've got to be able to keep Carson upright and got to be able to keep him clean so that he can look downfield to try to make some plays, but they're playing at a high level. I know they'll be gunning for us. They'll be ready, and we're probably going into as tough of an environment as there is in the Valley.
Are they a true 4-3 now, or are they kind of mixing it up a little bit on the line?
A little bit of both. A little bit of 4 down, a little bit of 3 down.
What do you expect the reception to be from the UNI fans, knowing the nature of this rivalry to yourself?
I couldn't tell you. If my mother's there, they should be really nice. You know, because my mom knows most of the people in the Cedar Valley. So, you know, that's a good question. I don't know. I really don't. But, you know, we've got myself. We've got Coach Entz that spent some time there. Atif spent some time there. So it'll be some emotions for all of us. But the game's still going to come down to the Bison against the Panthers. And we'll just tee it up and see how we do.
How's Carson's ankle?
I didn't see him yesterday. I'll see him today. Coach Hedberg talked to him and said he was sore, but thought he would be okay to practice this week.
Coach, where did you notice the change in the rivalry between these two teams? I know obviously a lot of fans remember the fight that happened here in 2009. But when you were at UNI or when you've been here, when did you notice that this became something bigger?
Well, I just think there's such great respect between the two football programs of really good traditions of good football and physical play, and you know, I remember each of the games when I was at UNI playing the Bison, as well as these last going on my 4th year here. I just think there's a good mutual respect between both programs. It's going to be a knockdown, drag-out physical football game.
Because it's going to be, I mean, I remember last year was probably the most violent game you guys had. Do you prepare any differently knowing that you're going to be going? Do you take some reps off or anything just because you know it's going to be that physical? No, we're getting into November, so we always cut back a little bit. We cut back a little bit last week against NDSU, and that was a physical football game on Saturday, really physical. And I'm sure you and I was in a really physical game against Illinois State on Saturday. So, you've got to make sure and prepare your guys mentally to get ready for what they're going to see schematically, but boy, you've got to get your players to Saturday, and that's something I think that is really crucial, that we get a fresh football team on Saturday. We'll maybe cut down a little bit on some repetitions, but we want to make sure we're assignment sound, because we're going to need to be fast and fresh come Saturday.
With Illinois State losing, is it that you pull out the "we control our own destiny" card now?
Well, no, we've got to beat Northern Iowa. That's the bottom line, is we've got to, you can't control a lot of things around you. You can say, yeah, we control our own destiny, but boy, if we think about anything past Saturday, we're not going to be successful on Saturday. So we're going to do what we've done since we got back from Western Illinois. We're going to talk about winning the next play, talk about going 1-0 for the week, and talking about the reason behind our success is the preparation we have Monday through Friday. If you prepare well Monday through Friday, doesn't mean you're going to win, but means you have a great opportunity to be successful on Saturday.
Looks like they're going with Carnes now full time.
He has the last 2 games, correct.
What are you seeing him? What does he bring?
Probably more dual threat. They would have run Cole Morgan some. They probably like to run Carnes a little bit more. He's getting more comfortable in the fact that he's taken whatever they've played, 75, 80 plays the last 2 games. So I think when they made the change, it just looks like the timing became a little bit better for them offensively, as far as receivers knowing what kind of ball is being thrown to them, who's throwing the football. So I guess I would assume that Carnes is probably going to be the guy, but they may go with the other kid a little bit too. We've got to be able to prepare for both.
Now that Kevin Bottom's getting back to close to being 100%, what does that mean for Lucas Aldridge's role? Keeping him on the field a lot.
Yeah, we've just got to be able to split his reps a little bit. Lucas and Andrew were probably playing more than we would have wanted them to when Kevin was out. So now with Kevin back full go, we'll probably, maybe even if we can cut 10 or 12 reps off of Bonnet and another 5 or 6 off of Lucas, it'll help us. It just gives us that third added tight end that we can do some things with 2 and 3 tight ends a little bit more.
How many players on these teams' rosters were you and I, going after at the same time for recruiting? And how much does that add to this rivalry?
Well, we're always going to recruit against Northern Iowa, especially in the Twin Cities. No different than we are South Dakota State and some of the other schools. But I couldn't give you a number. But there's a lot of players on both sides that receive some interest from the opposite school. But that's no different than, I think, South Dakota State as well. And there's us, the 3 schools battle a lot on kids in the Twin Cities especially.
So just seeing center, do you think Johnson is the best running back you'll see all season?
We still have probably a couple games. I mean, he's really good. Obviously, I recruited David. I know how good a player he is, and he's got a second gear that you don't know he's going until he hits that gear, and nobody's going to catch the kid. He did that at our place. I think Illinois State's got really fast kids, and he ran the kickoff and ran away from everybody. he's playing at a really high level, and we've got to find ways. They're getting him the football a lot more. We've got to make sure we know where he's at all times.
So when you were recruiting him, were you surprised nobody else went after him? You know, some the Big 12s or anything?
Yeah, I was. I had a good friend that was on the Iowa State staff, and I thought they were probably missing on him, and he and I joke about it today, but yeah, he was a really special athlete in high school.
Kevin McCobb had 6 touchdowns last week. He's going up against one of the best return guys in the country, Chad Owens, and David Johnson back there as well. Special teams going to be more of an emphasis this week.
It's got to be a huge emphasis. They've blocked, I think, 2 punts last week against Illinois State. They always are sound on special teams. Always have been an exceptional special teams team. But Ben's got to be able to get it out of the end zone, or we've got to be able to place it wherever we want to. Owens, I think, is a really underrated skill kid that's having an unbelievable senior year. I've got a tremendous amount of respect for Chad and his ability. So you can't just say, well, you're going to just kick it always away from David, because Chad's a pretty special player too. So we've got to be able to place the ball well if we can't kick it out.
Besides Wentz, any other injuries that might keep anybody out this week?
Second to last play, Travis had get his knee caught up, but I talked to him today, and he said he'd be ready to go today. So, I mean, a lot of nicks and bumps, and we may take some reps off of some guys early in the week, but I don't think there'd be anybody that would be out for Saturday.